Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we're diving into a filing from Zeo ScientifiX, and let me tell you, this one's a roller coaster. Are they headed for scientific breakthroughs or just more scientific accounting? Let's find out before we start. If you appreciate getting straight insights from corporate documents, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below for even more insights. First off, this isn't their initial filing, it's an amendment. That usually means something needed fixing, and in the world of corporate filings, that can be anything from a typo to a significant oversight. It's like saying, oops, we forgot to mention on a first date. Zeo ScientifiX Inc. operates an extracellular vesicle processing lab in Davie, Florida. They're in the business of regenerative medicine, which basically means they're trying to fix or replace damaged tissues and organs using your body's own materials or similar biological substances. It's high-tech stuff aiming to treat diseases like arthritis and other age-related conditions. They have some products already available, others are still in clinical trials, which is a process that might take years to be available for use. They are proposing to resell from time to time up to an aggregate of 4,400, 26,800, 26,800, 26,008 prices, and on terms that will be determined at the offering. Zeo won't receive any proceeds from the sale of these common stock. The purchase of the shares of common stock offered through this prospectus involves a high degree of risk. Be careful and consult financial expert if making this purchase. Purchase of the shares of common stock offered through this prospectus involves a high degree of risk. Be careful and consult financial expert if making this purchase. Zeo ScientifiX is a smaller reporting company, which means they get to skip some of the more detailed disclosures that larger companies have to provide. Think of it as getting away with a slightly less thorough homework assignment. Here's a twist. They've invested in a skincare company called Accession LLC. It's like a biotech company dipping its toes into the beauty industry. They launched a collaborative product called Zeo Hair Grow powered by Accession Number. They are trying to accelerate the company's development of expertise with respect to the skincare industry and to expand the use of its proprietary products. They're forming a joint venture with BioXTech LLC to develop, manufacture, and market regenerative therapeutics. They're also planning to move their operations to BioXTech's facility in Pompano Beach, Florida. The special purpose entity will develop and commercialize products including membrane patches, conduct clinical trials. This part is important because it signals a strategic shift towards leveraging existing manufacturing capabilities, but relies on those companies meeting FDA requirements and Climate's meeting FDA requirements. Now let's get to the numbers. For the 3 months ended January 31, 2025, the company reported revenues of $1,090,000 compared to $1,154,000 in 2024, and total liabilities of $3,000 compared to $3,000, compared to $3,000, compared to $3,000, compared to $5,000. The total assets were $1,550,000 compared to $43,000, compared to $1,043,000 in 2025. The company reported revenues of $1,090,000, 1,000. In 2024, the total assets were $1,055 to $5,000 compared to $3,000, compared to $43,000, compared to $1,000, compared to $3,024 to $3,000 in 2024. And total liabilities of $3,000 compared to $40,000 compared to $50,000. Compared to $43,350,000 compared to $50,000 in 2043,000. For the year ended October 31, 2024, the company reported revenues of $4,620,000 compared to $4,558,000 in 2023. The net loss was $4,705,000 compared to $987,000 in 2023. That reduction in net loss looks good. It means the company is not losing so much money. Cash was $657,000 to $1,756,000, which means the company almost ran out of cash over the year. The total stockholders deficit was Crestview One fixed $653,000 compared to SexUS and $2,241,000 in 2023. Not a good sign and reflects the point above that the company has little net worth right now. Of course, no corporate filing is complete without a hefty list of risk factors. These are the things that could go wrong, and companies like Zeo ScientifiX are required to lay them out for potential investors. First, the big one, substantial doubt as to our ability to continue as a going concern. This is corporate speak for, we might not be around much longer. It's based on a history of losses, not enough cash, and more expenses than income. It's Warren Buffett's worst nightmare. There's key man risk. The company depends heavily on its executive officers and key employees. If they leave, it could really hurt the business. Competition. The regenerative medicine market is crowded, and many competitors have far more resources. Price wars and reduced market share are definite possibilities, and any failure here would impact the chances of success. Supply chain risk. The company relies on non-exclusive supply arrangements with birth tissue recovery companies for raw materials. Any disruption could mean they can't provide products to customers or can't get the products on good terms. Regulatory compliance. Their business is subject to constant scrutiny by the FDA, which is costly, and the results of failing to comply would be catastrophic. Plus a new FDA framework that is in progress and has the potential to limit their capacity to sell their existing products. The company has to spend extra funds to make their products be in compliance with these regulations. And finally, control by major stockholders. Two of their stockholders control 51% of the voting power. This means they can pretty much decide everything. Those are big concerns and could be why you can buy these stocks for a lower price on the OTCQB. They are entering the binding MOU with BioXTech, setting forth the terms of a joint development, manufacturing, marketing, and funding arrangement to be entered into by the company and BioXTech in various phases. However, if they do not agree, the terms would be governed by the binding MOU. Here's what's not happening. Zeo ScientifiX won't get any of the money from the sale of these shares. The selling stockholders will pocket those funds. Zeo will only receive money if warrant holders convert the warrants to stocks. The cautionary note regarding forward-looking statements emphasizes how unpredictable their future performance is. This isn't a company for the faint of heart. There's a lot that could impact their results. The purchase of the shares of common stock offered through this prospectus involves a high degree of risk. The company used $1,450,000 to keep their operations in place. If we look at financial activities, however, the sale of assets generated $615,000 of cash. During the year ended October 31, 2024, the company had cash provided by financing activities of $396,000 compared to cash used in financing activities of $4,115,000 for the year ended October 31, 2023. Alright, so what do we make of all this? Zeo ScientifiX is a company with an interesting vision in a high potential industry, but it faces significant headwinds. The losses, reliance on debt, and heavy regulatory environment are causes for concern. It's high risk, high reward, and maybe that is why it is a smaller reporting company. What are the notable risks or opportunities? The opportunity lies in successful clinical trials, FDA approvals, and strong execution of their joint venture strategy. The risk is the company run out of cash and the FDA puts them out of business. Despite all that, it appears there's some potential, but this is definitely a stock for investors with a high risk tolerance and a long-term view. Alright, that's our breakdown of Zeo ScientifiX's latest filing. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.